Oh, there we go. I feel like I don't even know what I was about to say. How about that? Checking out this time slot. Checking out a bunch of time slots. Even though it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. The time slot. Because if people are going to watch something, they're going to watch something. That's it. That's it. That's how it goes. I said I wasn't going to smoke any more cigars, but I still have this one, so I might as well. Might as well. I just had a big dinner. Hello, Mark. I just had a big dinner. I was car shopping all day because women be shopping. Women be shopping for cars. Sometimes women be shopping for cars. So I at least wanted to finish this cigar since I have it. I don't know what's wrong with it though. I have no idea. I might have to clip it off. So we'll see how the 9 o'clock works. I'm out. It's almost 9 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. Damn. Seems like you have to do either before 5 o'clock or before 6 o'clock or after 10 p.m. I don't think I'm going to be able. I mean, I don't know. Could always pre-record something, but then obviously it won't be live. So right now I'm pulling up a chart on my cell phone to tell me I have a screenshot of when people subscribe to my YouTube when they're on YouTube. So what is it? It's Wednesday. So people are on YouTube Wednesday from 4 to 10. I think this cigar is I think there's something wrong with it. It's almost like somebody dipped it in water. So I'll trim it off. They gave me one of these cigar trimmers at the place. See? You can circumcise your junk with it too. If your junk will fit in there. Anyway, this just in. Chevy sucks. Pretty sure we already knew that. Pretty sure I already knew that. But some people I know, friends, etc., have been telling me to try Chevy. So, like, okay, might as well see what they have. I drove 3 Chevys tonight. Nobody's on at 9 o'clock. I drove 3 Chevys tonight, or this is terrible, and they don't want to watch it. Either way, I drove 3 Chevys tonight. I drove a Trailblazer, an Equinox, and a Colorado. And for some reason, none of those things feel big enough. I have bikes. I like to put my bikes inside of the vehicle as opposed to on a rack outside of the vehicle. So I don't think my bikes will fit inside of these vehicles. It's weird. The vehicle gets bigger on the outside, but it doesn't seem to get bigger on the inside. How's that possible? I don't know. I don't know. You can't ask me such a thing. I also drove a Volkswagen Jetta because I had no idea that Volkswagen Jettas are affordable. So I drove one of those, and it just feels too small. Feels too vulnerable after what happened. I want something else. However, I will say that the Volkswagen Jetta seems like a pretty good car. Seems like a doable thing. It has really good acceleration. The acceleration is very responsive in the Jetta. Very responsive. The brakes are very responsive. It's just good. Looks like it's going to be a slow night for live streaming for people tuning in, and that's okay. That is okay. No, I'm not sick at all. I'm great. I'm about to smoke the rest of this cigar, which I said I wouldn't do, but that's what I'm doing. The 2025 Jetta Compact Sedan. Here's the thing you need to know about it. It's affordable. It's great. But the oil change in one of these is far more expensive, unless it was that particular dealership. The salesman told me that an oil change for a Volkswagen Jetta is a little over $100, but the tire rotations are free. Nope, that's not what's happening. The tire rotation price of it is inside of that $100 because no oil change should cost over $100. You can't trick me. Okay, you can, but the Volkswagen Jetta is also, here's the thing, it's just too small. It's too small. It's a great car. The screens aren't ridiculous like they are in some of the other cars. You need an oil change every 10,000 miles in the Volkswagen Jetta. I know, car talk for days because I'm car shopping for days. This is my third day in a row of test driving vehicles. I expanded my horizons today. I test drove a Chevy Colorado. That's a pickup truck. Thing about the Volkswagen Jetta is that the windshield is about a foot from your face. It's insane. Maybe a foot and a half. Okay, let's say 2 feet. It's about 2 feet from your face. And I don't like that. I feel like if something's coming through the windshield, my face is right there. So I don't need that. I don't need it at all. All right, let's see if this works. I trimmed it down. Damn it. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, so Volkswagen Jetta. Seems like a great car, though. Smooth ride. But the oil changes and the tire rotations are going to be they're going to be more expensive than a different car. I'm going to be doing that a lot. I don't need it. But what else about the Volkswagen Jetta? I don't know. It's like everything just meshes together. It all blends together after you do so many. Yeah, it's yeah. I guess I shouldn't be doing this right now. I'm not really in that talkative of a mood. And I have nothing to talk about other than vehicles because that's what I've been doing for three days straight. So, Volkswagen Jetta, but it's a cool car. It looks nice. It's nice on the inside. It's nicer than the Honda Fit and the Toyota Corolla and Camry. Here's what I'm going to say. Chevy sucks. I test drove 3 Chevys today. Honda sucks now. I'm sure everything else about the vehicle is great, but the inside of Hondas and Corollas are completely cheap looking. It's a ripoff because those cars are expensive. I mean, they're more expensive. Basically, the price of cars have gone up. You're not getting what you're paying for at a base level sedan. That's like considered a cheap car. Like a Honda Civic and a Toyota Corolla are 2 of the cheapest cars you can get. And they're crap on the inside. But I guess what you're paying for is the reputation of Honda and Toyota. You're paying for the safety ratings. You're paying for the reliability. The cars don't look that great. They're kind of ugly. Honestly, I think every car I see is ugly. Is so ugly. There's nothing going on. The Land Rover stands out to me. That brand, which I haven't test driven yet. So I got to do that tomorrow. I'm going to test drive that tomorrow. I'm also going to test drive a Hyundai Elantra because I've heard good things. But Hyundai Elantra's ugly. So ugly. Honda Ridgeline, I actually am thinking about because I haven't driven it yet, but I looked at it, took pictures. The thing I like about the Honda Ridgeline is very wide, and I love seats. The seats in the back, they go up like that, but there's a bar across the bottom, so you can't really. It's like uneven floor space, which sucks. But I love that the seats go up because then I can fit my bike right in there. I'd rather put it in there than in the bed of the truck. I guess unless it's like I rode my bike and it was muddy, but And then, wow, doing business while I'm doing this. It's not good. Yeah, I test drove some SUVs. I test drove the Honda, I test drove the Chevy Trailblazer and the Chevy Equinox. But I've also driven on Monday. I drove the Toyota RAV4, and I drove something else. The Kia Sportage. Kia Sportage. A lot of people here watching me are into cars. I'm into cars, and I'm pretty disappointed with what's out there. I am so disappointed with what is available and for how much it costs. It's like everything is so bland and it's all the same. So disappointing. So disappointing. Hybrids are very much a thing right now, and I don't totally understand how they work. The salesmen have been explaining it to me. Honestly, the salesmen have been more entertaining than any of the cars I've driven. It's interesting to see each dude's pitch, each dude's style, and it's been all over the place. I've had very timid salesmen. I've had very aggressive salesmen. None of them have been women so far. And I think some of them should be women because honestly, some of these men, I can't even do it. Okay, so the Hyundai Santa Cruz, I don't think I like the look of it. I've read some good things about it. It looks a little funky to me, which I do usually like, but Hyundai Santa Cruz. Wait, Santa Cruz? Am I thinking of this? Yeah, I think that's like their SUV that has a bed, right? It's like a truck SUV crossover type deal. So this is insane. This is insane. This whole cigar deal is insane. All right. Okay, so the Jetta, yes, the Jetta gets amazing gas mileage. Apparently, it's like 41 it can get. Somebody's getting up to 44 miles per gallon. That's incredible on the highway. That's incredible. But the car is just too small. It's too small. I can't do it. Great. I mean, basic looking car, that's fine. I love I love this part. This looks kind of old school right here. I hate the screens in every car, but the one in the Volkswagen Jetta is not obnoxious. So I don't know. The Volkswagen Jetta might be in the running, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to be. I think I will feel too vulnerable in that car. Also, just not enough room in the back. I definitely can't fit a bike inside of there. Yes, the screens are good for maps. The screens are good for maps. What does this mean? I feel like there's not enough lighting. I hate everything. I hate everything about this. Everything about this I hate. Okay, the Kia Sportage is not a bad looking vehicle. That's not bad, right? But it also looks just like everything else. If I'm on a delay, I don't know if I'm on a delay or whatever. If I'm choppy, I'm not sure. There's too much going on. I'm strewn about. I have papers everywhere. I have letters everywhere. I have garbage everywhere. All of my things are everywhere. Everything is strewn about. I'm strewn about all over the place. My brain is strewn about. My place is a mess right now because everything is halted until I get a vehicle. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even want a vehicle. I don't even want to do this. I don't want a car shop, even though it's kind of fun. There's nothing exciting about it. There are so many dealerships right next to me. I can hit them up easily, but I'm jumping from one to another. But every car is the same. I don't understand. The thing about Kia is I don't trust it. I don't trust the name. It seems like I don't know anything about it, but it feels like a new car company. I know it's like the sister company to Hyundai, but I can't tell if the salesman is the one pushing me over toward the Kia Sportage or not. In a way, he was the best salesman. He had this tactic where he was just so aggressive that eventually you kind of submit. Because I'm going in and I want all of my questions answered in the order that I ask them, because I want to receive the information the way I take in information. This guy didn't. He was like, he had a pitch that was down. He told me he had worked there for 20 years. So this guy was incredibly knowledgeable about all of the cars. He was comfortable. He was confident. And he was aggressive. So he actually got in my physical space a couple of times, which was very annoying. But I'm like, well, whatever. I'm still going to test drive this car. At one point, he was touching things on the wheel as I was driving. I think that's probably too much. That's not cool. That's not good. I don't like that. But then after a while, you're like, okay, this guy, this is his, he's like, he's at work right now. This is like him on stage. This is his comedy club. This is his thing. I'm going to sit back and watch the show. So once I submitted to him, it's like, okay, now he's thoroughly telling me everything about the car in the order that he wants to tell me about the car. And he had a lot of passion about the car, very excited about it. This is the content desert. I haven't reached it. I started out here, as you remember. The cars are built well, but they don't feel like they're built well. That's the thing. They feel cheap. Talking about like $30,000 and $40,000 cars feel like $15,000 cars. It shouldn't be that way. So the Kia Sportage is an okay looking car. It comes in this green that's pretty cool. It does look like every other SUV that looks exactly like this, but it's just not it's not obnoxious. The front is different enough for it to be cool, kind of interesting. And it's fun. I drove a Kia Sportage hybrid and it was fun. A lot of acceleration power or whatever, like responsiveness. It was great. Brakes were great. Car was great. The screen on the inside it's a different layout than the other screens, which is cool. It's not obnoxious. I can turn all the stuff off as far as like the all that stuff. Here's the back. Also, the salesman was like, you need to sit in the back seat. Isn't it comfortable? And I'm like, yeah, it actually kind of is comfortable. It's very roomy back there. In case I ever have anybody back there. And here's the other thing that's wild. This is wild. In my car that was totaled, I removed the headrest because I think that headrests are insanely uncomfortable. They tilt forward, which pushes your head forward, which is just so unnatural. So I took my headrest off so that I could sit upright with a straight neck. And I still did not suffer any severe like any problems in my accident. And I didn't even have a headrest there. That's crazy to me. The Kia Sportage has the most comfortable headrest out of any other car I've been in. The headrest is great on the Kia Sportage. You can put your head back, you can rest it on there. And it naturally aligns with the rest of your body, and it's supportive and it's comfortable and it's cushioned. Every other headrest is like a cinder block on top of the seat. So that was huge. The Kia Sportage has a button you can push that makes your car go only up to 3 miles per hour, a consistent 3 miles per hour, which was made specifically for going downhill in sleet, ice, and bad snow. And you cannot control a car that well. You can't. You hit the brakes, now you're sliding. But at 3 miles an hour, your tires are rolling. And you can't do that with your foot. You just can't unless you're a professional driver or something. So that's kind of interesting. First of all, I've only said hello to Ray DeVito once ever. I've only been around him in person, I think, 3 times ever. The second time I saw him, we said hello. The third time, I confronted him about something at a house party. Other than that, in person, Ray and I have never spoken. No, that does answer your question, Props. No, it does answer your question. Here's what I like about the Volkswagen Jetta and some of the Chevys is the rear view mirror is tinted. I hadn't seen that before yet because I haven't shopped for cars in 7 years. But I love that because at night I actually do tilt the rear view mirror up and away from the back window because of the bright headlights coming in. So I'm looking at some kind of reflection or glare in the rear view mirror as opposed to the actual reflection of real life. So a tinted rear view mirror is a great idea. Son of Billy Wagner, you are not a Kia fan because I'm talking about the Kia Sportage, which out of all of the things I've test driven so far, probably 10 to 12 cars, it's my favorite one so far. And it shouldn't be. That's my problem. It really shouldn't be. That's how bland and boring cars are right now. So as you can see, this screen kind of goes all the way. It's flat, and I like that. Kind of rises up a little bit above, I don't know, this is called the dashboard, right? So it rises up, but not obnoxiously like it does on the Honda CR-V or the Toyota Camry or Corolla. There are a lot of buttons, you know, there's a lot of stuff. I don't really necessarily like that. These little windows right here are good because then you can see in front of the mirror. I do like that. The cup holders do this thing, which most cars do, but the Chevys did not have it. But now the cup holders adjust, which I haven't seen before in any other car. Well, some cars, but not. It's not like a standard. It wasn't as standard as it is today, but the Chevys didn't have it. But adjustable cup holders, which is cool. You can probably see. Do you see how the headrest is more, it kind of goes back. It's more upright. And in other cars, it goes forward, and it's so annoying. The back seat is very roomy, is very comfortable. The seat itself in the Kia Sportage was very comfortable. And the thing that here's what I didn't like. The back seats do lie down, but they don't lie down flat, and they're springy. So it seems like they kind of bounce around a little bit. I don't like that too much. That's the only view of the interior I have, which is pretty thorough, but this screen, I love it. Flat. Great. Also, the inside of the Kia Sportage does not feel as cheap as the Hondas and the Toyotas. So it's like, what more can you really ask for? It also rates very high in safety. So I'm going to do it. So a Kia Sportage hybrid is probably going to get about 48 miles per gallon on the highway, 40 or 41, 42 around the city. That's amazing. But it's a hybrid. It has so much punch. The brakes are very responsive, unlike the Camry. So the Camry has something called regenerative braking, which I don't know what that is totally yet, but it takes forever to stop. Kind of the same deal in one of the other cars that I drove today that I can't remember, but it takes forever to stop. It's like, I don't need that. I want to stop right now. I don't have a problem with hybrids, actually. It's the idea of one is growing on me. I've been asking a lot of questions about the battery. The Toyota battery warranty is 150,000 miles, 10 years or 150,000 miles. That's pretty good. But they're in their 4th or 5th generation of battery, so it's going to probably last over 200,000 miles. Once the battery goes, the rest of the car will start to go. But at this point in the company of Toyota, the other things on the car are going to go before the battery. Kia, I don't know. I think they have their warranty is 100,000 miles in 10 years as well. Every salesman is talking to me like, yeah, 100,000 miles. Like they think that 100,000 miles is a lot for one car. I don't think that. I think 300,000 miles is a lot for one car. I expect whatever car I get to go at least 200,000 miles. But I guess most people, they just buy cars and then they trade them in or they sell them or they lease them and then they get rid of them after 100,000 miles. You would think that used cars would be a lot cheaper if that were the case because there'd be so many of them. But they're not. I definitely don't want to work at a dealership. I haven't seen a single female sales associate out of all of the places I've been in the past 3 days. Yay, so 2 people have recommended the Hyundai. Oh, you recommend the Hyundai Santa Fe. Somebody else said a Hyundai Santa Cruz. I'm going to Hyundai tomorrow. I'm going to be driving the Elantra. So we'll see. What just hit 200,000? What kind of car do you have? So the Mitsubishi Outlander, here's the thing. Mitsubishi is another brand that I'm like, you don't really hear a lot about it. I mean, you know, Toyota and Honda are the ones you hear about the most as far as like reliability and safety, getting the most bang for your buck. Mitsubishi, you never hear anything about it. I used to be in love with the Mitsubishi Spider Eclipse in 2000. Is it 2000 or 2001 or 2002? I think it was the 2000 Mitsubishi Spider Eclipse. I thought that car looked so cool. Everybody later on referred to it as a girl car, which I guess I can understand. Mitsubishi also makes the cheapest car that you can get. I think it's called the Mirage, and it's like $17,000, and it has a 2.5 out of 10 rating. That's insanely low, but it's $17,000. Okay, so here's one person said Kia are complete shit. Do not recommend. Here's the other thing about Kia. This particular dealership, they are not hiding in the price of a tire rotation in with the oil change like Volkswagen is currently doing. They're going to charge you a regular price for an oil change, and you're going to get free tire rotations at that particular dealership for life. That's a pretty good deal, I think. Volkswagen is offering free tire rotations. However, the price of their oil change is over $100. So it's like, clearly that's a trick. But also they're throwing in free inspections as well. So Kia, free tire changes for life. I kind of like it. Without hiking up the price of an oil change. That's convenient. Even though it's only 20 to 30 bucks, still, that's convenient. But that is the other thing, is like Kia, you never hear about Kias being reliable, but I think they're like slowly creeping up on Honda and Toyota. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Honda and Toyota, they better do something quick, because the price of their cars are just, they're riding on their reputation, which is fine, but it's like, don't start making your cars look cheap as fuck on the inside, because I don't want to buy one. I don't want to spend that much money for a car that doesn't look good. Why? Like, I'm not looking at anything good, but I spent, you know, I spent more money because of your reputation and your safety rating, but you can't just make the inside of the car look a little bit better too for me. Okay, Mitsubishi gives you 2 years of general maintenance oil change. So some of the dealerships are selling me that, where like you get 2 years of this, or you get a third year of this. If you buy an SUV, you get 3 years. So I am hearing that all engines are weak now, even Toyota. But the higher, yeah, probably. Mitsubishi, somebody says Mitsubishis are trash. They're practically going out of business. Somebody recommended Volvo. I'm like, I don't know. Volvo sounds like a car for when you are rich and 60. That's just what I think of Volvo. That's kind of the brand, what the branding is like for me. But that's probably completely inaccurate. So I have a bunch of papers, and I have a bunch of printouts. I say, give me the printout. Give me the price after the taxes and all of the fees. And they always want to give me their card, and I'm like, that's fine. Give me your card. Probably not going to call you, but give me your card. Go ahead. Oh, I also had counseling today. That was fun. I'm getting a very important phone call, so I have to take it. Okay. So the Kia Sportage, like I said, it's the number one car right now that I've driven. So let me just show you what's going on with Chevy. Here's the thing. Chevy sucks. It just sucks. It's fine if you're a patriotic American and you want to buy American, then it's fine. I can't compare it to Ford yet because I haven't driven any Fords, but Chevy basically sucks. The ride in every car is rough, no matter what. If I was in a Colorado, I was in a Chevy Colorado, which is a pickup truck, and I could feel every single thing on the road underneath. Everything. I hit a pothole, not that deep. Seriously, not that deep, and I felt every inch of that pothole. I hit the same pothole in every single car, the Trailblazer, the Equinox, and the Colorado, and I felt it just as hard in every single car. That shouldn't be the case. I did not drive a Silverado because I think that Silverado is a little too big for me. I don't need all that truck. I'm not towing anything at this point in my life. The Equinox, that's the electric one. So, SUVs. The Trax, here's the thing, the Equinox is bigger than the Trax, but not on the inside. How is that possible? So the Trax, I was like, no thanks. Let's just completely skip the Trax. Let's go straight to the Equinox. No, the Trailblazer. So I did the Trailblazer. Where's the Trailblazer? Where? As I've said before, car websites are infuriating. That's a no good. There we go. Trailblazer. Looks kind of cute, right? But also sporty. You know, the Trailblazer was okay, but as I was driving it, I was like, I want this thing to be wider. I feel like if I go around a turn too fast, this thing's going to roll over. It just didn't feel stable to me. Wow, it looks better in person than it does on here, that's for sure. But they do have this really cool cacti green color. It looks good in person, and it's unique. But everybody's getting it, so of course it won't be. Out again. So this is what the Chevy looks like on the inside. The tinted rear view mirror is there. All of the things, all of the lane assist, that was all turned off. So it was good. It wasn't really distracting. The screens aren't too bad. The inside doesn't look cheap. And it's a cheap car. The Trailblazer is a cheap SUV, but it doesn't look like it. The Trailblazer is less expensive than the Honda CR-V, and the Honda CR-V looks like trash on the inside. Okay, there's a knob. Here's what I like about it, though. There's a knob that allows you to dim and brighten. There's a dimmer switch on your on all of the panel lights, which I love. The problem is it takes about 2 seconds to catch up to whatever you do. And I noticed this all across the board with all of the Chevys. The fan If I want to turn the fan all the way up, it takes about 2 seconds to go all the way up, or all the way down. It takes 2 seconds to turn off. Same with the windows. The windows were slow. Everything, all of the tech in the car lagged, which I did not like. I'm somebody who wants it now. I'm looking for more interior photos. Doesn't look too bad on the inside. There's an all-wheel drive switch that you can turn on anytime you want. Also, the back seats go down flat. No, they don't go down flat. There's a slope, but it just wasn't big enough. So I said, let's do an Equinox. Let's get crazy and let's do an Equinox, which is not that crazy, but I really did get crazy with the Colorado. There it goes. Trax, Trailblazer, Equinox. Equinox, much, much wider. Feels great. But when I took this on the highway, I was like, this is big. This is the biggest thing I've ever test driven in the past 3 days. So there's a lot more vehicle to consider when you're hitting the brakes and which speed you're going. And the thing about it is I just kept imagining, getting into a wreck or hitting something solid or something trying to mow me down. I kept thinking of that, and I was like, I don't know how safe any of these vehicles are, except for Hondas, I believe, are incredibly safe just because I've had 2 of them and I know they are. And they say that Toyotas are very safe, but I don't know. But the Equinox, I'm like, what if I just slammed into a concrete median like I just did a week ago? What would happen? Is the front end of this, because the theory is, well, it's a bigger car, therefore it must be safer, right? But is it? Because whenever you ask the salespeople, what's the safety rating on this car? And they'll go like, oh, it's a 5-star safety rating because it has blind spot assistance, lane assistance, whatever that thing is where it detects a car in front of you slowing down. It will automatically take over and slow down for you. It'll hit the brakes so that you stop on a dime. It's like, but that helps you prevent an accident that is your fault. But if something is happening that isn't your fault, how protective is the actual car around you? That is what I mean by that. So if safety ratings are just going by preventative measure, that's not good enough. I doubt that they are, but what is the car going to look like if it slams into something? I mean, are they still doing crash tests with dummies? Are they still doing those? That's what I want to know, is like how sturdy, how strong is the actual frame of the car. And that's all I could think of when I was in the Equinox, because I was like, I feel safe in theory, but if, I don't know. So this is what the inside looks like. The insides are all basically the same. Except on the Equinox, there's no gear shift down here. The gear shift is up here like it sort of is on a truck, which I didn't like. I don't like that because it's not a truck. It's an SUV. And that was tough because I kept reaching for the gear shift. And that would definitely take a lot of getting used to. Same with the tech as far as it lagging every single time. And okay, the seats were not that comfortable in any of the Chevys that I was in. Kind of hard, kind of stiff. Didn't like it too much. You want it's like a shoe. You don't want something that's too cushiony because it's going to wear out very quickly. You don't want something too stiff because it's uncomfortable. You want something that feels slightly worn in that will last. So the Chevy, way too stiff. I love the tinted. Also, Chevys have a tinted rear view mirror, just like the Volkswagen Jetta. That's fun. Thing about the Equinox that was great is the one that I drove had a heated steering wheel, and oh my god, I didn't even know I needed such a thing. I mean, when I was in the Trailblazer, I was like, man, it would be great if they made a heated steering wheel. And then I got in the Equinox, and I was like, oh, they do make a heated steering wheel. This is fantastic. I mean, it was great. A heated steering wheel is fantastic. I just said fantastic twice, but that's how fantastic it is. Of course, you're going to have more room in the back. However, it just didn't quite look like I did. I don't know why that's happening. Car is definitely wider. This car felt like I was driving a tank. And the thing is, it's like, okay, when you're driving a tank, you're not going to stop as quickly. You can't go around I can't go kart around in this thing. So the whole thing kind of just slows you down. And that being said, we'll go to the Colorado. Colorado, Silverado. Colorado it didn't feel like it looked like this. It felt like it looked different. I was already dark by the time that I drove this. The front, yeah, I guess the front looks cool. It's higher up, so that's fun. I did not take the Colorado on the highway because I didn't have time. But same deal where it's like, okay, this is gigantic. This is cool. It's a very big vehicle, obviously. But the bed of the truck, it's just like, short. Obviously, I guess it's a midsize. The back seats did not look, it didn't look spacious. The Honda Ridgeline has more room in the back. But as the Chevy salesman told me today, the Honda Ridgeline is not a real truck. And I believe that because it's a Honda. Anything with no turbo? Well, some of the things I drove had a turbo, so why no turbo, son of Billy Wagner? Why no turbo? And you don't like Hyundai or Kia. Tell me why you don't like Hyundai or Kia. Because, I mean, I might be getting a Kia Sportage. At the end of the day, I'm probably going to go with another Honda, or maybe I'll jump ship and get a Toyota. Possibly a Toyota Camry. I just don't know. But I still have more things to test drive. You'd die of embarrassment if you got into 2 car wrecks. Well, it wasn't my fault. So I have nothing to be embarrassed about. The other person was so embarrassed they left the scene of the accident. Okay, turbo in an Equinox will blow out by 150K and you'll be paying $5,000 for a new one. That's a no good. All the cars with turbos, direct injection, and CVTs screwed you over every time. Huh. Well, I don't know what a CVT is. I don't know what direct. I don't know what any of these things mean, but I do know that some of the cars I drove did have turbo. So I'm going to write that down. so that I can research what the hell any of those things are and avoid all of them since you're saying they're no good. Your engine blew in the Hyundai, just like everyone said it would. Turbos break down over time, not good for a high mileage car. Okay. Honda is the best pick out of what you just said. Well, the other person either didn't have insurance. I think most likely they were drunk just because of the nature of the hit and how hard it was and how they had merged across one or possibly two lanes very quickly. And I spoke to a friend of mine who has had, I believe, multiple DUIs. Not a close friend. None of my close friends have any problems like that, but this was a person who had a drinking problem, and they said that they drove drunk a lot, and they were like, yeah, this was. They believed, I believed as well, but everybody believed it was somebody who was drunk. And I was like, if that was the thing, it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, how are you, if you're drunk, how are you able to even leave? How are you even able to keep going? And they said, you actually adapt your car for things like that. You get good at drunk driving, which ultimately means you get good at leaving the scene of accidents and designing your car in such a way that it will leave your car will take minimal damage while the other person's car is pretty messed up. So that's exactly what this person, and they were definitely flying because, yeah, they were definitely flying. So drunk and they don't want to stop. So it's most likely drunk. And I think the thing that also confuses me is why I think drunk people take the back roads. They don't usually get on the main highway, but I don't know. Maybe I have that backwards. Maybe drunks avoid the back roads because cops are on the back roads knowing that the drunk people will be on the back roads. I'm not sure. But either probably also no insurance. I know that the person who I was talking to about this, they've quit drinking, but they used to drink and drive a ton. I didn't know them when that happened. I would not talk to them if that were still the case, but their license wasn't up to date, so you don't have insurance and you don't have a license and you're drunk and you just learn how to get away with all of it. You learn what to do. Oh, I would have never taken a field sobriety test because I've never driven drunk day in my life. I think that, okay, your first car was a turboed Volvo that did 275,000. Okay. Avoid CVT. A second person. Someone seconds that. Yeah, I was planning on having my car forever, even though I kind of I had fallen out of love with it completely. I guess that's how some people approach relationships as well. Marriages. If I hold my finger on the other part, it'll stay lit. So this is the Silverado. No, this is the Colorado. That's what I drove. Yeah, felt big, felt nice. But still, short bed, not a lot of room in the back seat. It's like, can't I just get something that's an in-between here? That's weird. Yeah, I guess I could tow stuff. Definitely tow stuff. I don't have anything to tow. Will I ever have anything to tow? Probably not. The Hyundai Elantra is an ugly ass car. Ugly. CVT is a type of transmission, so you know, but they are used by a ton of manufacturing, so it's tough to avoid but not impossible. A type of transmission, okay. Yeah, so the Honda Ridgeline, like I said, I haven't test driven that, but I do like it the way that it looks, and I really like the back seat. Can't really remember the front, but this is the Hyundai Elantra. I don't know. I've heard good things about it as far as safety ratings. That's an ugly car. Look at the back. Ew, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like the front, the back, or the side. I mean, the front is kind of cool. It's a little retro, right? Or like 80s, which yeah, would be retro. But ugly ass car. Nope, didn't work. Well, because the Honda Ridgeline, like I said, the back seat, the seat part of the seat folds up like that, leaving all this room for me to be able to put a bike in there. Now, it's really what would be amazing. There's like a bar that goes across the back seat. I'll just pull it up. I'll just pull it up and show everybody. No, I don't want that. The problem with the Honda Ridgeline, though, is that the front of it, the whole dash and all the panels, they still look cheap, just like in the CRV, the HRV, and the Civic. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the back seat of the Honda Ridgeline. So look at all that room. That's fantastic. I love that. I love when the seats go up like that because you put really tall things in there. And the problem though is if you see this bar right here, this bar goes all the way across and it's just built into the floor because this part of the back seat, it lifts up and then clicks down into this bar. If this bar wasn't here and you had a completely level floor, that would be ultimate. I love that. But even with the seat down, there's still a lot of room. I lied across the back of the seat. They had one of these in the showroom. And I lied down across the back and I think one of the doors were open, but I almost fit, which is cool. Yeah, I'll probably test drive this. It's more than I would like to spend, but I'll definitely test drive it, but I can't get over. I don't think I'm gonna get over that a cheap panel. Also, the back, the bed of the Ridgeline, not big because it's still just a mid-size. But see, you can fit a bike in there. Why isn't this page going? See, if you put a bike in there, this is a dirt bike, but if you put a dirt bike in there, which is not as big as a like other bike, but yeah, your bike's gonna hang out the back. So yeah, tomorrow I'll probably do Fords and probably also end up back at the Honda. And you know I'm going to be at that Land Rover dealership. I mean, you just know I am because I have to. I have to test drive the Land Rovers. Are you kidding me? Can't be test driving all these cars and just skip the Land Rovers. Good God, the Defender? Oh my God. What an amazing looking vehicle. Sorry, Range Rover? No, Land Rover. Yeah. Defender right there. Your Toyota is a 2012 and is the exact same from 2008 to 2003. Really? I mean, the blue one doesn't look great, but I saw a white one. There was a white one at my dealership, the dealership near me, a white Defender. Good grief, did it look good. I was like, oh my God, I want that. I want that. Okay, Defender Octa, Defender 130, Defender 110, Defender 90. I don't know what kind it was. Two doors with seating for 5. I'm going to look at this. Is Carrot Top still jacked? You bet your ass he is. He will always be jacked except for his legs. Which comedian would you want to pork in the backseat most, Felicia? Well, wouldn't he be porking me? Isn't that how that works? Which comedian? Oh, God, I don't even know. There's so many. Okay, this one looks tiny. Can you be tiny and be a Defender at the same time? Like the short king of cars? Damn, I can't wait. I almost did it today, but I was like, I better test drive things I'm actually going to buy. But damn, what is that? What is that thing on the window? Hey, Felicia, can we Venmo you some money for the down payment? You bet your ass you can. What is that thing right there? Is that like a... I don't know what that is. Makes me want to whisper. A 5-liter supercharged gas V8 engine delivers 518 horsepower, taking you from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. Sign me up. quad outboard mounted exhaust pipes, V8 badge, and 22-inch wheels. Hint at the power within. It only hints at it. These also come in that cacti-ish green. This is called Pangea green. And then there's a blue. I like the green. The browns, though, the like a bronze or a copper, those are cool too. But on this car, I would go with the green. All right, let me check out this interior. Yeah, it might be a liquor cabinet for real. Oh, that's just... All right, come on, man. Let me see the inside. Let me see the inside of this thing. I've never had cactus. I went to Sedona, Arizona one time, and somebody said, you gotta try rattlesnake and cactus fries. I went to a Whole Foods, so I was like, I'm going to ask a local. And I said, where can I get some rattlesnake and some cactus fries? And she said, I've never heard of those things. So I think I got punked. See, all I want to do is look at the inside of the car. And it's like there's no way to do it. I mean, okay, there's one shot of the inside. I guarantee when I show, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm not going to hype it up in my head though, because then I'll get to the dealership and I'll be like, oh, this is it. Explore the design, explore the durability, the capability, and the technology. How about just the inside? How about, can I just explore the inside? Might have to go outside of the Land Rover website just to see the inside of the Land Rover. Might crash my stream here. Website too complex. Finally. Okay. Okay, that's not as cool as I thought it would be. Okay. Well, I'll just see all of that when I get to the place because oh, this can tow things. Okay. Up to 7,700 pounds. Yes. You can put 260 pounds on the roof. Oh, yeah. Look at this. You have a 35-inch wading depth. That's what I like. I think something happened to my internet, I guess. Let me make sure. All right. Seems fine. Okay. The Discovery, that's, if I remember correctly, something with 3 rows of seats, which I do not need. Never stop discovering. Just don't. That's my motto as well. Discovery Sport. Yeah, this website's complicated, so I guess that's why it's going slow. Also, there's other things happening with my Wi-Fi right now, so. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, I didn't get any massages in Sedona, but I did hear one of my friends went to Sedona. She got a massage, and she said that the woman started taking her fingers and doing a scissor motion around her body. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Oh, I'm severing the what'd she say? The something about like I'm cutting off the split ends of your aura." And she was like, "Oh, okay, great, great." What I'm thinking about doing is getting an old car though, like not a vintage, not a vintage car, because I gotta be able to go around town a lot and drive on highways and stuff. But maybe a car from like, I don't know, 10 years old, 20 years old, very low mileage, something that some old person bought and just never used, because then I can avoid all of this terrible, intrusive, bossy technology that's on the new cars. I don't want it. I don't want it. Also, I like to feel more connected to the road. That's why the Volkswagen Jetta feels more connected to the road than these other vehicles, but without feeling everything happening on the road under the tires like the Chevy. It's just too much. Chevys are gritty, but not necessarily in a good way. But I also don't tow anything. I don't traverse through the desert and the mountains and the rocks. So I don't tow stuff, haul stuff. So I don't know how good Chevys are when it comes to that stuff, but they just don't feel right on the highway and driving around the city. Yeah, I mean, I'll camp. I don't care. I like camping. I like nature. Um, I would camp. Yeah, probably wouldn't sleep in the car because for some reason it just doesn't feel. I don't know. The idea of sleeping in a car seems weird to me. I don't like that idea. Okay, the Discovery is made for families, so that's not me. I don't have a family. It's cool. Looks cool on the outside. All of these Land Rovers look cool. Oh, God, that's a good-looking car. There's a Discovery Sport for your next adventure. So if you want to take an adventure with your family, I suppose. I just can't wait to drive one and sit in one and see what it's like. I think it's going to be fantastic. The actual Range Rover, Land Rover, I'm looking at this twice. I looked at this a couple days ago, so this is basically a repeat of 2 days ago. Range Rover Sport. I'm going to go to the absolute cheapest one. So the Range Rover Evoque sounds like something that would be electric. So let me click on that. Yeah, this isn't. No luck with this cigar. Damn, that looks cool. I want to see the inside. It looks very similar to the Honda HRV, the front of it. I mean, this one's way cooler, obviously, but interior, that's not the place to click on the interior. A Gremlin, somebody who drove a Gremlin. That's cool. Toyota Tacoma is pretty analog. Yeah, I did not drive one of those, but I did get pricing for one. I think I looked at it though, and once again, not enough room in the back seat. Damn, that's a nice looking car. Yeah, I forgot. You can't really look at the. I'm gonna have to watch some YouTube videos later. Can't watch it on here, probably. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Sam Talent, he's a large individual, isn't he? I think he is. I feel like this is not bright enough, but whatever. It's what I'm doing. It's what I got. It's what I got. I could turn the lights up. I don't feel like moving. How about that? Yeah, I could do a love letter, I guess. People are not, yeah, I could do a love letter. Let's do a love letter. Let's do a letter from a loser. I feel like the audience here, which is very small, is split between these love letters. Some of them hate them with a passion, and some of them think they're pretty interesting. I'm on the side of pretty interesting, which is why I've been reading them. And somebody here, what's my opinion of Tony Hinchcliffe? Well, Tony Hinchcliffe put me on his show, so obviously I'm biased, and I think that Tony Hinchcliffe is a master of hosting Kill Tony. I think he's pretty quick, obviously. He's a good roaster. He's an excellent roaster. I ran into him after the show. He was nice to me. And yeah, I've heard some bad things about him. I don't know if they're true. I'm going to say that Tony Hinchcliffe is a monster in probably the best and the worst possible ways. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one that doesn't have an envelope. I don't know where. I don't know. I don't think it was mailed to me. I think it was handed to me. This is 9 pages. So sometimes people don't like when I do this. They think I get a little too sassy with it. But I think that's the point. I think you got to get a little sassy with it. There's probably some gold in the in this right here. So, all right. This is from August 12th, 2016. So this is actually very early in the relationship. August 12th, 2016, he put the time, which was 11:05 a.m. Felicia, well, I called it 11 a.m. and Mike has not stirred from his bedroom. Also, no AC in the house, so I am on the back porch with a slight breeze and my clipboard to keep me company. This clipboard is really nice, by the way. I can now write virtually anywhere. See? All you need is a clipboard. When you're a psycho like this, all you need is a clipboard. One of my best dollar store purchases in recent memory. It's up there with the chocolate lava cakes. I hope you don't think that it's odd that I am writing you a letter so soon after the last one. I did think it was odd. I honestly did. I was like, this guy pumps out letters left and right. And that's impressive. And odd. What else could I be doing right now? Netflix, internet porn, in the house, sweating my balls off, waiting for Mike to wake up. It's nice back here on this porch. He has a yard and everything. So this has been one heck of a 4-week run. I can't believe there are only 2 days left. Shit, I fucked up that number 2. I kind of limp wristed it. And I know you are a huge fan of the way I write the number 2. I will give you 2 more good ones to make up for it. 2. That's the first one. And wait for it, 2. So there you go. I was a big fan of the way he wrote the number 2. Yes, only 2 days left and I get to come home for a good long spell. Can't believe I am so excited to get back. Life can be pretty strange sometimes. Wow, he's really getting deep. Page 2 is when he gets deep. Where the thing you dread above all else becomes something you love and are thankful for. Go figure. There has to be a lesson in there somewhere. Yes, life can be pretty strange. Take you, for example. I had no idea when we started talking that it would lead to something so substantial. Of course, that is before I really got to know you. As time went on, I realized that I really enjoyed being around you. Then I started having feelings of, I think I'm falling in love with this person. And that feeling became so powerful that I couldn't keep that to myself. I don't know if I had to tell you or if my internal editor was on vacation, but I said it. For bad or good, I put that out there. You can't really walk back that large a statement, and I am certainly not trying to. That's a cope. See? Lost some people. But I sure did fall for you, Felicia Gillespie. Pretty freaking hard. That is the bottom line. I am elated that our life paths intersected and you came into my life. I am forever a better person because of it, which is difficult because I was already a pretty great person when we met. Then out of nowhere, I meet you. Having you just suddenly appear in my life is so beautiful and random. I love it. When I look at you, I see somebody that is living as opposed to dead. I don't understand. I know, Victor Mature. I know. You missed all the rest of it, though. A very positive energy. When I look into your eyes, I see pure light and energy. And that is so rare and so special. If only he could see me now, he could see that I'm dead inside. At my core, I am that person too. I am finding it again after spending 3 years in the darkness of negativity. I realize that sounds a little over dramatic, but that is really how I feel. I used to be Mr. Positivity, unfazed by the complexities of life. This guy is really painting an image of himself, isn't he? Oh, some people wanted to hear this. Do they not want to hear it? Let's see here. I was starting to turn the corner when we met. Now that I have identified a couple of my larger flaws, I feel like I can just relax and enjoy life. It's almost like quitting drinking woke up my inner sleeping giant. I feel like I have wasted an awful lot of time trying to escape. I have made so many stupid mistakes. It really blows my mind how irresponsible I have been throughout the course of the last 20 years. That's a long time to be irresponsible and not stop yourself. That's me. That's me saying that. There's just so much embarrassing and regrettable behavior. Those are the things that make me never want to drink again. It takes a lot to say I've made a bunch of mistakes in my life, but I want to do something to fix the problem. I feel like that's where I'm at in this whole thing. The simple act of admitting that you have a problem ain't so simple. I'm guessing that it is probably one of the biggest hurdles you face going through this process. I have certainly had these feelings before, but I really wasn't keen on listening to them. Sometimes it is very smart to listen to your intuition, even if it goes opposite of what you want to do. This topic is probably boring you to tears, and all the rest of the 13 people listening. But I can't stop thinking about it. Hopefully I will be able to keep going forward and I can just have normal conversations with you instead of ramblings about issues I may have. No, he couldn't. That never happened. I have spent so much time talking about me. I have neglected to find out key information about you. That was a big theme in our relationship. So let's do this, right? First question, who is Felicia Gillespie? A hot chick with a cool name? That is a given. Is she a small town girl who outgrew her roots? Is she the sensitive poet that single-handedly brightens the lives of everyone she meets? Is she the athlete, the white, hot sex kitten that makes any man who meets her weak in the knees with an 80% chance of boner? Well, I would make the argument that she is all of these things. It's quite an impressive juggling routine. Oh yeah, and you can juggle. Well, fuck me. Is there anything you can't do? I thought I was unique, but I could wow you with my I thought I was unique and I could wow you with my 3-ball skills, but no. You had to show off that amazing talent too. Jesus Christ, that was impressive. I hope I didn't do anything to let on that I secretly hated it. You know me, always trying to be sportive. Okay, now I am in... Okay, I can't read this part out loud. I would like to finish this letter so I can give it to you ASAP. We're just on page 5 though. So he did, we've got 4 pages to go. I would like to finish this letter so I can give it to you ASAP. It was so good to see you yesterday. I have been gone so much and it's nice to know I'll be home for a while. We should make the most of what little bit of summer we have left. I'm talking about snow cones. I'm talking about a couple of baseball games. Maybe go hit some balls at the old driving range. Perhaps a round or 2 of miniature golf. Because if we don't do this stuff now, the next thing you know, it's going to be fall. And if my relationship experience has taught me anything about fall, we aren't going to have time to do leisure activities due to the excessive trips to the various pumpkin patches that surround the greater area. And don't for 1 second be worried about me. I love going to a nice pumpkin patch for the better part of an afternoon. Are you kidding me? Spending 3 hours searching for the perfect pumpkin so we can turn it into a jack-o'-lantern. Spend a few hours tasting cider. Maybe pick up some Indian corn to hang on the front door of your apartment. And at the end of the day, after missing every football game on TV, we will be able to say that we were closer to each other than when the day began. And we will feel good knowing that we supported an American farmer, a true dying breed, a man who 30 minutes before our arrival just got done beating his wife 27 years because she don't make the cornbread the way I like. And that farmer makes a very good point. Cornbread is not difficult to make. And if your husband mentions that it is too sweet or there's an opportunity there for a teachable moment or teaching moment, as some would say, I mean, just follow directions and there's no problem. I am still on page 7. There's this guy, he just doesn't stop. This is a diary. This is a journal entry. This is not something that someone should have written down on paper and handed to me as a gift. It's just not. Good God. I'm not taking the side of the farmer over the wife. It's just after I plunk down $30 for a pumpkin, some cherry cider, an assortment of gourds, and some Indian corn, I feel like I know this man pretty well. And it's been a lean year for farming. And one of the few extravagances he counts on is a nice fat piece of cornbread to go with the rancid horse meat stew that they eat for dinner every night. Is it too much to ask that it is prepared correctly? Is it an overreaction to punch his wife in the eye if it isn't? Anyway, this is what fall means to me. I hope you feel the same way. So listen, it was so good to see you yesterday, knowing that I don't have to hit the road for a while. You were and always are a sight for sore eyes. You probably noticed that I was staring at you when we were sitting next to each other. Sometimes I can't take my eyes off of you. I sort of get overcome with a feeling of, I'm so glad that I met this person, and I become very happy and content. It is such a great feeling. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love spending time with you and talking to you on the phone. I have not even come close to being bored for 1 second. Hell, I would even go to the lame-ass pumpkin patch with you that you have been dropping hints about since the day we met. That's a joke because I never did. It is a small miracle that I met you and a large miracle that we like each other. It makes me feel incredible. Somebody as kind and caring and funny and intelligent and beautiful as you are cares about me? I almost can't believe it some days. But I am compelled to believe it because you tell me all the time. I hope I do the same. I never want you to feel unappreciated. I hope that you always know that you have made me as happy as a person can possibly be over the last few months. I hope that my words and my actions say that. You have taught me a lot about myself, which feels strange to say, but you really have. How could someone with less life experience than me be so wise? This is not a rhetorical question. I want answers. This is the last page of the mini novel pamphlet that he wrote me about his inner thoughts. Are you a time traveler? One of those shape-shifting aliens? I just think that you are wise beyond your years. There has to be some kind of explanation. Then again, maybe I don't need an explanation. What is the expression? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Pretty bad analogy, though, comparing you to a horse and all. This needs to end. Yeah, you think? Well, what is the point of this letter? Is there a point? I hope so. Is it weird that I am writing you a letter while I'm sitting next to you? Because it feels weird to me. Wow. This is the one he wrote while he was sitting next to me. Okay. If there was ever a time to end a letter, it would be when you are sitting next to the person that you are giving the letter to. So I'll just end this by saying that I think you are an number one person. You have a good attitude and strong character. It's been a pleasure knowing you. No, I'm not dying. Just saying it's been a fun few months, and I think it's important that I tell you how much I appreciate you. That's all. The end. Did anybody get any insight out of that? Anybody have any unique theories there about that? By the way, this is let me show you real quick. That's the amount of letters that I have read over the past few live streams. Three live streams. I've read that amount of letters. This is the amount that's left. I don't think people enjoy them. I don't know why. I think they're fascinating. I think they're crazy. No, I'm not in a hotel. I'm at my place. I did not know about Cosby before Hannibal Buress broke this story. Victor Mature stopped in and he was like, I'm out of here. Let's see. Do you eat for free at the clubs that have restaurants? Yeah, you eat free at all the clubs. And every club makes food. So, yeah. Now, most of the clubs, the food sucks. So, we end up ordering food from somewhere else. Yeah, everybody knows. Like everybody who works with comedians who do shitty things, they all know because they've been around the person and they've seen it. Nobody says anything ever because you never want to be the first person to say something. The first person or the first couple of people to say something about somebody gets blackballed from everywhere because they're thought of as a snitch. So they are the problem in everybody's eyes. But then once it's okay to talk about it, then everybody comes out with their stories. I should probably end this stream. I don't think it's going anywhere. Not a lot of people were tuning in, which is totally fine and actually expected. But I can't go forever. And I had nothing to talk about tonight other than cars. And that's just how it goes. That's that. That's how it goes. I'm very thirsty. So, Turd Burglar 69. What a great name. Thanks for being here. Tom was 19 and off the turnip truck and it wasn't cool. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's that. That's the end of this one. Thanks for everyone who checked in. Thanks for people who didn't check in. I bit my tongue today. If you end the stream, I have to face my life. I'm in the same boat, to be honest with you. I also have to face my life. But thank God for Netflix, am I right? Thank God for Netflix.